Hi friends, welcome back to Rouse Rising. My name is Katie and today's video is a weekly meal prep video. This is some of the meals that I made my family, mostly from scratch, some maybe not, but we try to cook from the basics around here. We use what we have and we improvise. So if that's something you do in your kitchen as well, then you might enjoy this video. We're gonna start this video out with some tragic news. A very good friend of mine, Felicia from Grains and Grit here on YouTube. You guys may remember I've done collaborations with her and I've shared her channel many times. I've shared her cornbread recipe. I just love her so much. She is a sweet friend of mine. Well, I heard this past week that her husband, Joshua, was involved in a gun attack. So crazy, a gun attack. He was shot in his abdomen multiple times when his neighbor attacked him. So I'm telling you guys this because they need so much support. They need so many prayers right now. And I'm gonna link down below in this video's description a GoFundMe where if you feel so inclined, you can make a donation to help support her family during this very difficult time. Her husband does have a digital business and then she has her YouTube channel. They are a homeschooling family and they live down in Florida. So they are gonna need all sorts of support during this time as her husband recovers from these gunshot wounds. He is in the ICU. It is touch and go right now. We don't know what's going to happen in the coming weeks, but he has a long road to recover. So if you guys could give her channel some love, give her channel some support, you can go and watch her videos, go binge watch her channel. It's all about cooking with whole grains, and there's so many delicious recipes over there for you to check out. So check it out, linked down below in this video's description. I'm gonna put Grains and Grits YouTube channel, and I'm gonna put the GoFundMe directly to help support her family while her husband recovers, hopefully survives these terrible, terrible injuries from this attack. So if you can, say a prayer for her family. It's Felicia and Joshua and their family, and check out their channel. And if you can, support their GoFundMe. Thanks so much for hearing me out on this part, and now we're gonna jump into this video.
No, the buns.
All right, we once again are making, what are these called, Hagen?
Banana cookies. Chocolate banana cookies.
These are chocolate brownie banana cookies. Basically, banana brownie cookies.
Banana brownie cookies.
So Annika's mixed up 2 egg yolks. We've doubled the recipe. We've got 2 egg yolks, 2 bananas. What else did we put in there? We're getting ready to put the butter in there, actually. And last time we used oil, and we used coconut oil, and we had some melted coconut oil. That's what we used, and it made them really brownie bite-like. They were delicious. And this time we're using unsalted butter. So you want it melted and slightly cooled, so that's what we've done here. Yep, now stir that in. We're gonna add, this is 1 cup of 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, and then we mixed in a teaspoon of molasses to make brown sugar.
Okay. Oh, actually, this is easy.
Then I learned again. They are talking of visitors from outside. Of course, the right angle of triangles slow down.
These turned into like little brownie puff balls. Delicious. So yummy. I'll link this recipe down below in the video's description. It's really good. And they turn into little puff balls. We didn't melt the butter all the way. I don't know if that's why they're puff balls or if they were meant to be puff balls. I'm not really sure, but they look yummy. They taste yummy too. All right, I'm starting to bake some vegetables up to make a root vegetable soup with butternut squash, or butternut squash soup. But I only have 1 butternut squash, so, you know, we're gonna add some other vegetables to it. I'm gonna drizzle these with a little bit of oil, olive oil. Then we're gonna place them on this tray with our other vegetables. And I'm gonna cover this whole thing with foil, wrap it up nice and tight so that everything can steam, bake, roast, do its thing. And then we can have a soup in a little bit. What I'll do is I've got some chicken going in here. This is a roast chicken from Costco, but I'm heating it up in boiling water, and then I'm gonna put the carcass from the other chicken in there. I'm just gonna get this one warmed up. I'm gonna flip it over and warm both sides, and I'm gonna pull it out, and then I'm gonna put the other chicken carcass in with some vegetables. We're gonna make chicken broth. Then I'm gonna pull all the chicken off that carcass, throw that back in there, you know, do the whole thing. So this is just gonna go in the oven as is. The vegetables have been baking in the oven at about 375 degrees or 400 degrees for about the last hour. And that's about how long it takes for everything to become nice and soft. So what I'm doing here is just scooping all the pulp out from the skin. We don't want the skin in the soup. We just want the pulp from the butternut squash. Now do as you wish with the potatoes. But I am going to do the same thing with them. I am just going to scoop them out of their skins and plop them in this bowl. Then we're going to add some chicken broth to this pot, and we're going to get it seasoned up and blend it up. Many years ago, I would have transferred all of these ingredients to a blender and blended it in the blender, but that's not the safest thing to do with hot soup. So I invested in an immersion blender, and it is a KitchenAid immersion blender, and I can stick that down into my hot soups and get them blended up in the consistency that my family enjoys. So to this soup, we've just added some salt, some pepper. I'm also adding some cream. You can add nutmeg if you like. And then over here in this pot, I'm just showing you how we've got our chicken cooking in here to make a nice, rich chicken stock. All right, I'm just gonna warm this gelatinous, amazing broth through so that I can strain out the bones. What I did was I just cooled this off the night that I cooked it. I cooled it off enough to stick in the fridge, and I was tired. I didn't feel like dealing with it, so I just put everything in the fridge. It gelled up nicely, lots of good broth in there. And this is that chicken carcass from Costco. You can see how much gelatin it is. It's not sloshing around, it's nice and firm. But this is gonna warm back up on here, and I'm gonna make some kind of soup. I'm not sure, maybe I'll make potato soup or something for dinner tonight. But I wanted to get this going. It's 11:30, it's almost lunchtime. The kids just ate some lunch, but I'm thinking about dinner already. We've got some peeled potatoes, some peeled carrots. We've got an onion. Back here we've got ghee. We're gonna saute up the onion, the carrots, the potatoes. Some salt, thyme, and black pepper. Also, where is it? Oh, back over here. We've got our chicken stock that I'm letting strain. So when we're ready to add that, we'll add that. But we're gonna saute up some vegetables first. Onwards. We're starting out with about a tablespoon of ghee in there. We're gonna throw in our onions. We're gonna chop up our onions and our carrots into little diced cubes. All right, we're going in with the carrots and one potato. I haven't done all the potatoes yet. We're gonna go ahead and get those sauteing. Well, it's winter and I have chicken carcasses, so that means lots of broth and lots of soups. At least this week anyways, we're having the 2 soups, and then we're gonna make a salad as well. So this is my soup and salad video. I'm gonna show you guys how to make a really easy and delicious Caesar salad dressing. Potatoes are in the Instant Pot, so now we're gonna add salt. We're gonna add some pepper. My chicken broth has a lot of seasoning in it already, but we're also going to add some thyme to this recipe. And then we're going to add our broth. Let me go grab that. And in a little while, we'll add some cream. We're going to let this cook for now. The recipe that I looked at online, it calls for chicken bouillon and water. But because we have chicken broth or chicken stock already, that is what we're using. And so if you have some homemade broth, or if you have some store-bought broth or cartons of broth in your pantry, or maybe you've got some freeze-dried broth or some chicken bouillon or vegetable broth that you've made or that you've bought, whatever, just use whatever stock or broth that you have. I just so happen to have a Costco chicken, and that's what we're using. All right, I'm just gonna let this cook for about, bring it up to a simmer and let it cook for about 15 minutes until all of the vegetables are nice and tender. Then I'm gonna stick my immersion blender in there and blend it up and add some cream. You can top it with shredded cheese, bacon, all that yummy stuff. I'll show you when it's finished. And actually what I've done, because I wanna walk away from it, is I've selected the soup broth on my Instant Pot, And then I took it down to 10 minutes. This is gonna bring it up to pressure for 10 minutes and let it cook for 10 minutes, and then it's gonna go down to keep warm, and I can just walk away and go do something else for now, and it's not gonna boil over, it's not gonna do anything crazy. I just made sure my valve is closed, so.
Okay.
Wow, that's cool.
Oh. It's a little bit, my hole. Don't bring it inside that one. Oh, is that broth?
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I'm gonna have to drink the rest.
Ooh.
Do y'all wanna drink some?
Yes.
All right, next up we are gonna blend our soup. Oh, this is gonna be orange because I put lots of carrots in it. But that is
blended up
okay.
carrot soup.
These carrots were just huge. About a cup of that. Well, just based on the quantity that I just made. We're gonna check the consistency of that, and we're gonna add or adjust our seasoning. If we need to add more salt, we'll add more salt, more pepper. All right, that's probably more like it. We don't want to get too pasty. Officer. We just added some salt and some pepper to this, some half and half, or you can use heavy whipping cream or whole milk. This would be delicious topped with bacon and cheddar. It would be really, really yummy. We're just gonna eat it like this, probably with some cheese on top. Sour cream would be good on top of this as well. Our neighbors brought us some delicious bread yesterday, so we are enjoying this potato carrot soup, or it's a creamy potato soup, but it's more like carrot potato soup in this house today. And some bread with butter. And we've got a little bit of chives here.
Let's go to eat. No, I could eat. Is it ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm not finished with my bread. Oh my goodness, it looks so yummy.
Here we go, there's our delicious lunch. All right, we've got all of our ingredients here. When I make my bread, I do like to use a mix of all-purpose flour or unbleached white bread flour, along with, and this is unbleached white bread flour that I got from Costco. This is the King Arthur, I believe. Was it King Arthur brand? And then I just fresh milled 2 cups of hard white wheat berries. Sorry, hard white wheat berries. Soft white wheat berries you use for baking cakes and cookies and things like that. Hard white wheat berries and hard red wheat berries you use in bread baking. We've got some Redmond's real salt. We've got some sugar from our emergency food stores. I'm just going to use up the bag that I have before I break into my Azure Standard sugar that I just got in my last order. And then we have olive oil right here. So we're going to go in with 1, 2, 3, 4 counts of olive oil, or you can do 4 tablespoons of olive oil. And then on top of that, I also forgot to say yeast. We have yeast, but I haven't added that in yet. So we're gonna go 1 cup of all-purpose, 1 cup of fresh milled hard white wheat. It's not all-purpose flour, it's unbleached bread flour. Another cup of that. And you don't have to do this. You can do all or one or not. All right, and then the last cup of fresh milled wheat. Next up, we're gonna go in with 2 teaspoons of salt. I used to put my salt and sugar in first, and then I realized that the salt has minerals in it, and they were scuffing up the bottom of the pan a little bit, so now I add it to the top so it can mix in and have a little bit of a buffer. And then that's 2 teaspoons of salt, and then 4 teaspoons of sugar or honey or whatever. On the top right here, and 2 teaspoons of yeast on top. All right, and right here I have it set up for quick loaf. I'm gonna hit start. It's gonna take 2 hours and 18 minutes. Hopefully it cools off by the time I go to bed. All right, there's a loaf of bread. Looks great. I crushed it a little bit when I was dumping it out of the bread machine, but we've got a nice loaf of bread, matches the cabinets. Erin made breakfast this morning. Big old pile of eggs and some toast from the neighbor who brought us a loaf of bread yesterday. We are gonna make some chicken salad together, and I've never added sour cream, not sure why I'm adding it now, but I did about 2 tablespoons of sour cream, about half a cup of mayo, about a tablespoon of mustard, and then I'm gonna add in, normally I would use lemon juice, but I don't have lemon juice, so I'm using key lime juice, and my secret ingredient is using lemon pepper seasoning, and I'm gonna add that in a minute. I'm also probably gonna add some more mayonnaise to this, and then usually if I have celery, I add that as well. This is a late night lunch meal prep. I'm just getting some chicken salad ready for the kids' lunches, and then in the morning I will slice the bread and put the chicken salad on the bread, bag it, and place it into their lunch bags for their community day. As with all of the food that I make, I eyeball everything, I wing it, and I use what I have, and so that's the name of this motherhood feeding my family 3 square meals a day game, is do what you can. So I often don't follow recipes, but I will glance at a recipe online and then adjust it and make it my own with what I have in my kitchen. So don't be a stickler about recipes. Do the best you can with what you got. The secret ingredient is, of course, lemon pepper. I'm gonna freeze up the rest of this chicken and use it in a recipe on another day. We recently moved, and with that move came a change in our homeschooling situation. We are still homeschooling, but we are doing it through a charter school, and they oversee the parents educating the children essentially. And then we also have community days, enrichment classes, and we're able to use our stipend that we get every year from the charter school, from the state fund. We're able to use that towards books and different extracurricular activities as long as they are approved, such as skiing at Mount Bachelor or taking certain types of music classes or for the mountain bike team. We think that's really cool. So part of that deal is their weekly community day, and that is why I am packing lunches today to send them off to school so that they can have some socialization. Isn't that a big concern for so many people? Are your homeschool kids socialized? And of course they are, and they know how to speak with adults, and they know how to carry on conversations and look people in the eye, and they read books and all sorts of cool things. So for their lunches, we made the chicken salad sandwiches. We had some deer pepperoni sticks. Those are those banana chocolate brownie cookies. We did some carrot sticks, a fruit stick, and a mozzarella stick, along with an orange. And then the kids also selected chips. All right, we just made a smoothie for afternoon, evening snack. And what we put in it was about a cup of blueberries, about a cup of kiwi strawberry blend, because that's the other fruit we had in the freezer. We did about a cup of Greek yogurt, because this is for 5 people, and 2 scoops of Orgain protein powder. And then we filled up about right here with water and turned it on, and now we got a beautiful purple smoothie. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. Tonight we're having an easy meal on repeat. We're just gonna heat up some meat. This is some venison sausage mixed with some beef, and we thought it was plain venison, and turned out once we opened the package we realized it was sausage. So it was already mixed in with the beef at that moment, and I said, oh, that's fine, it'll be delicious in spaghetti, because we were gonna use it for taco, which we could still use it for tacos, but it just has more of like a breakfast sausagey, Italian sausagey sort of flavor. So we're gonna split this in half and put it in our pot and get it warming up with some sauce. And then we've got some spaghetti over here. I need to get some more, pick up some more from Costco next time I go. We're running a little bit low, so make some of that up. So easy, and I know everybody does this. Every American does this for dinner. I'm just gonna add a little bit of pasta water to this in a little bit when the pasta is going, and dump that in there as well. Next up, we've got some ground sausage burger in the fridge at the moment. Ground sausage burger. And so what we're gonna do is make some rice, and we'll have some vegetables and some rice and the ground sausage. It's like deer sausage and beef burger that we mixed together and cooked up the other day, and not realizing at the time that it was deer sausage instead of just regular venison. So sometimes I mix meats when I want a larger quantity, but I also like to stretch my game meats so the game meats get mixed in with other things. All right. So we've got a lot of projects going on here today. We've got my son, he's doing a felting kit. Rice. All right, we've got this on rice. So this 8-quart has some different settings than my other Instant Pot. This is some chicken broth that we made the other day. Like that. Somebody was asking how we made our rice. And I was like, well, I used to make it in the Instant Pot, and now I make it in the Instant Pot, but this is the 8-quart, and I haven't made it in here before, so I've got 4 cups, about 5 cups of water. Yeah, about 5 cups of water, and we're gonna do 3 cups of, and it's not 5 cups of water, it's just 5 cups of liquid. And 3 cups of this. And sometimes I do the finger method where you measure to get the first knuckle over top of your rice. So you want your rice base, and then you measure 1 knuckle over top of the rice. I've done that before too, and that works fine. And I'm gonna rinse this rice in a strainer, in a fine mesh strainer, and get it washed. So I'm just gonna run it under some water for a few minutes and get all that starch out of there. You can repurpose the starchy water, and you can repurpose it and feed your plants with your starch rice water, or rinse and wash your hair with it. I also considered making some baked potatoes today, so maybe once this rice is done and I've got it stored away for the week, for meals. Well, usually we eat through it in a couple of days, but you can freeze rice, you can freeze dry rice. All right, I'm gonna add a teaspoon of salt to this. And I'm gonna just give it a stir, just to level out my rice and see if I need any additional liquid in there. See, it's 1 3/4 cup of water to 1 cup of rice. So we got 2, 3 1/2. Yeah, about 5 cups of liquid. And usually when I add broth, like bone stocks or bone broths or whatever, I add some additional water to it, because it just doesn't absorb as well into the rice. So we're just gonna let this cook. We are going to make a smoothie for my kiddos. Half of them are out on a hike right now with their dad, and the other 2/5 are here home with me. Today we're doing a ripe banana, we're doing some kiwi, strawberry, some blueberries. We'll do some Greek yogurt, protein powder. Stingy on the fruit this time, just running low on a budget and all that stuff. All right, rice is all done. There's a carrot in there because this is bone broth, so I had a carrot get through. All right, bread is all done. Look how beautiful. I'm gonna get it out of the loaf pan. All right, this is all set. I'll let it cool. All right, I just put some butter that was room temp in my butter dish, and there was some left on here, so we're just gonna smear this all over the top. Not let any of it go to waste. Go. Stay tuned. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to make a homemade Caesar salad dressing. It's really good, and so we had it served with chicken. So this morning, this is what we've got going on. We've got some rice, leftover rice from the other day. We've got some leftover vegetables from the other day. By the other day, I mean the day before yesterday. We had rice and vegetables and meat for dinner. So we're gonna make some fried rice with all of this. We're just gonna use a little bit of this organic sesame oil I bought a while ago. I just peeled the label off. I haven't even used it yet. And then I've got some coconut liquid aminos. And we're gonna fry up this rice, add in the vegetables. I'm gonna scramble up some eggs in the rice bowl once the rice is dumped out. And then we're gonna have some fried rice. All right, once again, I bought a bunch of mushrooms and I haven't gotten to them. I haven't used them. I also have some Brussels sprouts that I need to use. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna blitz them in my food processor real quick. And I'm gonna add them to some cream and chicken soup that I just made from scratch. And I actually have that recipe somewhere on my channel. It's a few videos back. It's one of my family's favorite recipe casseroles. It's chicken broccoli rice casserole. Tonight we have what's left of that last bag of rice, broccoli when we used it. So I'm gonna use this, and then I'm gonna blitz. It's gonna be like a broccoli, yummy. Oh, I gotta stir this because the flour is like burning on, not burning, but I need to remove it from the heat. So that's looking really good. That's some yummy goodness. And that is just, you know, chicken stock, celery salt, pepper, chicken bouillon, garlic powder, onion powder, poultry seasoning. And first you make a roux, you do butter and flour, and you cook the flour for a minute, and then you add your chicken stock, and then you add your milk, and then you add all your seasonings. And then so hopefully that's small enough that my kids don't really notice. When they say save the drama for your mama, what they mean is kids are only dramatic with their mamas. Anyways, that's what we're doing. All right, so I used half a batch of Costco mushrooms, and so that should be good. Now it's like a creamy mushroom, and I added more chicken stock to water it down just a little bit. And then we are going to add the rice, the chicken, and pour it all in a casserole dish and cook it up. All right, next thing we're gonna do is just add the rice to this to get it incorporated and mixed throughout. Oops. I'm gonna put the chicken and the broccoli in the pan, and then I'm gonna pour this over the top, or maybe I'll pour this in and then put the chicken and broccoli in. I don't know. Oh, it's splattering everywhere. Oh my goodness, I have a mess.
I'm a caterpillar.
A caterpillar.
Yeah. I'm going to eat.
Hi, Dad.
What's up? Hey, birthday boy.
He's a caterpillar.
Oh my god. Cute caterpillar.
How was work?
Amazing.
Was it really?
Huh?
Was it really?
Yeah.
From Daddy.
And once again, that was my child's birthday, and we had company over. We shared a birthday cake, and we did dessert first. Then we had dinner, and I failed to show the finished casserole product, but just imagine it was more brown with the mushrooms added than it was the normal chicken broccoli rice casserole. So check out that recipe. I will link it down below in this video's description. Also, don't forget to support Grains and Grit here on YouTube. You can watch all their videos. That is very supportive of their family right now. And also you can donate to the GoFundMe down in this video below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.